जय श्री माता जी। आज के शाम के सामूहिक ध्यान के में आप सभी का स्वागत है। वी वेलकम यू ऑल फॉर टुडेज इवनिंग मेडिटेशन। श्री माता जी को प्रणाम करेंगे, कुल्लली उठाकर बंधन लेंगे। विल bow down to श्री माता जी, raise our kundalini and take bandhan. 3 महामंत्र का उच्चारण करते हुए श्री गणेश मंत्र का उच्चारण करेंगे। We'll now recite the 3 Mahamantras followed by Shri Ganesha mantra. अभी हम बैलेंसिंग करेंगे। इसके लिए अपना दायां हाथ धरती माँ पे रखते हुए बायां हाथ श्री माता जी की ओर। We'll balance our left side with our right hand on a Mother Earth and left hand towards Shri Mataji. With all our hearts, हम मन प्रार्थना करेंगे। श्री माता जी, हमारे अंदर भूतकाल के जितने भी विचार हैं, जितना भी दोषी भाव है, कुसंस्कार है, कृपा करके उन सबको धरती माता में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, प्लीज रिमूव all the imbalances from our past, bad memories, guilty conscience, complexes into the Mother Earth. Shrimati ji, kindly balance our moon channel. दायां हाथ श्रीमाता जी की ओर, बायां हाथ आकाश की तरफ। With our right hand towards Shrimati ji, left hand towards the sky. We'll pray with all our hearts. श्रीमाता जी, हमारे अंदर भविष्य की जितनी भी चिंताएं हैं, आक्रामकता है, अति सोच विचार है, अति कार्यशीलता है, उन सबको कृपा करके इस आकाश तत्व में समा लीजिए। श्रीमाता जी, kindly take away all our futuristic thinking and planning, worries, aggressiveness, excessive heat, excessive thoughts, and overactivity into the sky element and balance our right side. बायां हाथ श्री माता जी की ओर, दाएं हाथ को हमारे आज्ञा चक्र पे रखते हुए, कपाल पे रखते हुए, राइट हैंड टुवर्ड श्री माता जी, and then we'll now clear the Agya Chakra by placing the right hand on the forehead. श्रीमाता जी, हमने संपूर्ण हृदय से सभी को क्षमा किया। कृपा करके हमारे विचारों को स्थिर कीजिए। O Mother, I forgive everybody with all our heart. Kindly balance my thoughts and take me into thoughtless awareness. दायां हाथ श्रीमाता जी की ओर, with our right hand towards श्रीमाता जी. We'll now come to Sahasrara Chakra. Shrimati ji, kindly take me into meditation. Give me the joy of collective meditation. Shrimati ji, कृपा करके हमें ध्यान की गहराई प्रदान कीजिए। हमें सामूहिक ध्यान का आनंद प्रदान कीजिए। इसी स्थिति में हम श्रीमाता जी की अमृतवाणी ग्रहण करेंगे।
Today we are going to celebrate the birth of Christ. At a very crucial time we are doing that, because there are some antichrist who have become in charge of the Christian religion and are talking against the birth of Christ. They have no authority. They are not realized souls. They have no idea of the divine, nothing. And they are saying that it is all falsehood, that she was not a virgin, and that Christ was not born that way. Who told them? Did Gabriel come and told them? What right they have got to talk these things? So because they are antichrist, now they have become in charge of Christianity. Even Pope is like that. So in Satyoga they will be all exposed, have to be exposed. But some people who are here can write to this man to ask, what is your authority to say? Have you felt the all-pervading power of God's love? Have you any divinity in you to challenge Christ like that? There must be some incarnations of Paul, perhaps. They cannot understand divine. They don't know what divine can do. They have no idea at all how miraculous it is. You all have felt the blessings of the divine. You all know that it is a miracle. Every time there's a miracle produced. I will narrate one simple example. In the Navratri Puja, we had some photographs. And behind the photograph, some sort of a scene came, which I was wondering what is this supposed to be. The scene was that the Surya was moving a curtain. There were eyes for the Surya's mouth, nose, and he was smiling and moving a curtain like that. I said, what is this? What is this indicative in the Navratri Puja? But when I went to Moscow, I was surprised that they had painted the background just like this. Exactly like this there was the background. So Navratri Puja, which took at least 1.5 months before, the Param Chaitanya painted there. It's very remarkable how things work out miraculously. And there are 1001 miracles you can talk about. When we were in the aeroplane going to Moscow, they said the temperature is minus 20. We got down, they said it is minus 50. Next morning, they said it is coming down very fast. It's touching about minus 12. And afternoon, they said it is minus 4. But next day, it was plus 10. I mean, as the time passes, it has to be cooler and cooler. This time my husband was going to Moscow. He says, very cold there now, minus 20. He sent word that, I said, don't worry, we'll put it right. He said when he arrived, it was only minus 2. So all these things show that all the elements are helping us. All the other problems, minor, big, anything gets solved in no time. You are sometimes amazed how things are done. So then they question, then why Christ had to be crucified? Why could you not save him from crucifixion? He was crucified because that was to be done in his case. That he had to pass through the Agya. He had to establish himself in Agya. And the cross, he had to pass through that. So the message of his life is never the cross, but the message is his resurrection. He resurrected, that was one of the things he did very great, so that now you can be resurrected also. In every incarnation in the evolution, every incarnation did something very, very unique. At the end of it, Christ did the resurrection part. And he did it because he had to die. Otherwise, how can you resurrect yourself? So there are lots of things which look mythical, which are not. Tomorrow they say that Christ never resurrected himself. And actually, he died later on in Kashmir. There's a proof of it. But still, the people don't want to believe. And they just wanted to spread Christianity. Because they know that if you have majority of people, then they can rule. The same trick now is tried by politicians. But this kind of a majority is not going to bring any solace or any benevolence for people. Christ's mother herself has been challenged by this man and has said all kinds of nonsense about her. On the contrary, Muhammad Sahib in Quran says, nobody should challenge the chastity of the Holy Mother, of Christ's mother. He has respected. While there is no respect shown to Mother Mary, in the Bible. No respect. She's called a woman. Because of Paul, who was a horrible antichrist who came over, who took over Christianity, tried to spread Christianity, and with that, what he wanted to put his own importance. And he used Peter, who was the worst possible disciple of Christ, whom Christ has told that Satan will take you over. So now they are telling people that it's impossible, how can it be that Christ was born to a virgin? We Indians worship Sri Ganesh. Sri Ganesh is the same as Christ. And we believe that the mother herself created the child as a virgin, as a Gauri. Not only believe, but it's our faith. While the faith in the West is all rationality. They go on thinking like that, and they go on producing yarn of falsehood. What was the need for newspapers to publish this nonsense of this Durham fellow? And then he was honored by the Archbishop of Canterbury, who is another Antichrist. He honored him, and just after that, that church where he was honored was completely burnt by Vishnu Maya. She was looming around it for 1 hour, and then she burnt it completely. Only the lower portion was left, because there were also very beautiful paintings, maybe. Now the stupid fools are saying that it is God's grace on us that they saved us from this Vishnu Maya, the lower portion. But why did it burn? So you have to understand that rationality can never make you understand divinity. Can never. It is so limited, so conditioned, full of ego. How can the rationality tell you what is the truth about Christ's life? But we have proved also, scientifically. So you must be knowing that I told them that if you see from right to the left, you see a swastika because of carbon, the way it is made. If you see the carbon atom, you see a swastika from left to right. We have made a big model out of it. And then you put it in another way, means you see it from left to the right, then you see Omkara, no doubt. And then you see from down below, you say Alpha and Omega. Christ has said it, that I am the Alpha and the Omega. At that time I didn't know if these symbols were there or not. Whatever it is, he did say, I am the Alpha and the Omega. Also it has another meaning, that I am the beginning, I am the end. But Alpha and Omega, the way he said it, you can see it clearly, symbolically, clearly, if you see it from down upward. So, the Omkara on one side, swastika on another side, joined together, when they ascend and incarnate, they become Alpha and Omega. But all this doesn't go into the heads of these antichrists. They are all antichrist. And they cannot understand what divinity can do. You got your realization, your second birth, just sitting here. How did you manage? How did you get your second birth? And the way these people talk is definitely for their doom, for their complete destruction. It's too much of daring. As you know that Sri Ganesha is a very powerful deity. Same Christ. He has said, if you say anything against the Holy Ghost, I will not tolerate. And also, Against Christ I will not tolerate a word even. Only on that point I'll have to see to it that all these horrible people should be destroyed completely. On this occasion of his birthday, we have to realize that Christ was born from the same things as Sri Ganesh. So he was wisdom, source of wisdom. He said few things because they didn't allow him to live long. At the most 3.5 years, he could lecture to people. But whatever he said is so truthful, so correct, and so wise. Of course, they might have tried to dabble with that, but still lots of truths are left in the Bible, no doubt about it. And his lifetime he spent in just telling them what is the truth is. He is the first one who talked so clearly about God. On his level, we have three other people in the area of tapa, which is here. One is Buddha, another is Mahavira. Now, both Buddha and Mahavira were born at a time when they saw that ritualism is taking place, the reality. So they said, we'll not talk of God, Anishwarvad. We'll not talk of God. First, we'll only talk about the Chaitanya. That everybody did. Even the guru of Janaka, who was Ashtavakra, only talked about the vibrations. Even Nanaka did that. When Namadeva went down to Punjab, he told him, don't talk about God, don't talk about Hari, better talk about Paramachaitanya first of all, because one can reach only Paramachaitanya to begin with, and then they will say, where is God after all? But it's only Christ who talked about God at that time, when it was more that they didn't want to talk about God Almighty. He was a daring person, were never afraid of anything, no doubt. But his childhood has not been described anywhere, which is very sad. We have got the beautiful description of Sri Krishna's childhood and also Sri Rama's childhood, except that once he was in argument with some Pharisees, and how clever he was, and they were all flabbergasted at his discussion. That's all, nothing more. But later on, though they had showed no regard for Mary, the people couldn't help it. They said, there has to be some Devi, some goddess. How can Christ take birth from her? So they named her Madonna. And that's how this Mother Mary was called as Madonna. Means maiden, means virgin. And this Madonna was then started occupying the place of churches everywhere, and people regarded her as a goddess. It is the people who said, not in the Bible, not in the Christianity, but the people started calling her Madonna. And from that Madonna level, that people started seeing the mother and the motherhood. She was Mahalakshmi, we know that very well, and we worship her as Mahalakshmi. She was Radha. Radha also had a son, and he was like an egg, and the half of the egg was Christ, and half of the egg was Sri Ganesh. But when this child was born, he started crying for his father. Father was Sri Krishna. It's in if you read Devi Mahatma, it is there. So always he puts his hands like this towards his father. So one is, as you know, is Sri Krishna's finger, another is Vishnu's. And she was Radha. Ra means energy, Da means the one who has sustained. the energy. And she is the one who called him Jesus. Actually, in the Hebrew, it is Yesu. And also in the, thank God I read Bible in Marathi, which was directly translated from Hebrew. Yesu is the name. Yesu is the name of the mother of Christ, mother of Sri Krishna. Yesu means, as we call her, Jesu or Yesu from Jasoda or Yashoda. From that she called him. And Christ word comes from Krishna. So she called him Christ and Yesu or Jesus. We too call Yashoda sometimes Jesu or Yesu. So she called him by that name. And that is how she put the link for us to understand how close he was to Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna came only, incarnated only in India, because he would have been too lenient a person to be incarnated in America. As it is, they have no limitations, they have no maryadas, they have no idea of dharma, they are very great adharmis. So, only a person like Christ, who is absolutely pure, wise, and does not believe in the Leela part of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna said that this is all Leela to overcome the strictness of Sri Rama. But Christ did not say so. And despite that, all over, wherever Christianity is practiced, they think it's all Leela. Adharma is Leela. Whatever wrong we do is Leela, after all innocent. It's surprising. Their logic is so funny. I've never been able to understand their logic. All self-destructive, nonsensical logic they have. So, for us Indians, we should know that we have full idea of dharma. We know what is wrong and what is good. But more credit I would give to Christians who are from such countries where they have no idea of Kundalini, have come up so much and have become such great Sahajas. Now is the blessing of God. Because they were genuine, they were sincere, it is Christ who brought them to Sahaja. Without him, it would not have been possible. Here, Sri Ganesha is just a symbol sort of a thing. He resides in the stones. But there, he incarnated and he told people what is dharma is, which they are supposed to follow, but they never follow. They never follow. They are extremely money-oriented people. It's very surprising what things they have done in the name of God.
श्रीमाता जी को संपूर्ण हृदय से धन्यवाद करते हैं। श्रीमाता जी, आपने हमें आज शाम के ध्यान की आनंद प्रदान किया। Mother, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for giving us the joy of evening meditation. Please allow us to maintain this state. Thank you. श्रीमाता जी को नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे, कुंडली उठाकर वंदन लेंगे। जय श्रीमाता जी।